again, and welcome to episode 2 of Snow Days. It's just Matt and I today. Bishop's unavailable, and it's all Matt's fault, by the way.
It is Matt's fault. Hey, for keeping theme with being a nerd, I stay up too late playing Digimon.
Okay. Hey, I was up playing D&D last night, and yet I still made it. So I'm
Ah,
just saying.
dude, I was having so much fun. I finally got the last card I needed for this new deck, and I
Oh,
was
dude, we were in this. So we're doing the Curse of Strahd storyline, which is
this is
apparently
so
like the most.
cool.
Apparently it's like the most famous D&D story ever,
Yeah,
involving, but it's like Dracula basically
yeah.
is
I was
what
gonna say
it is.
he's the vampire. I think I have a minifig of him actually.
Do you really?
I think.
Well, so we're currently in his house, and we've been invited to dinner, and basically he's told us multiple times that we will not be hurt, but he cannot promise that the house will not hurt us. So we're like, okay. So now then he just leaves us alone in the dinner room, the whatever you call it, the dining room, I guess, with this huge table and food, and we're like,
Yeah.
should we eat the food? Are we
What
allowed to eat the food?
is it your character based off Natsu? Like Natsu would definitely
Yes.
eat the food.
Well, that's exactly what I did. I just finally decided, you know what? I'm eating. We're gonna see what happens. And sure enough, it gave me advantage on my next attack. I'm like, yes.
Usually, I play in those weekly tournaments, and I stream on Twitch. Everybody give me a follow. Uh, but you're usually done by like midnight. I just the two of my three opponents were just playing these like long drag out decks, and I was like, ugh. But it was a good time. My bad for being late. I kicked Bishop off. But how was your week? How was your Easter?
My Easter was fine. I'm not all that religious, so personally, I don't necessarily celebrate. That's why I texted you guys saying Happy Zombie Jesus
Yeah.
Day. But no, my mother-in-law is very very religious. My mother is quite religious as well, so they had their thing. They had ham and all that.
Yeah.
I indulged them.
We didn't do anything out of the ordinary, but being married with two families, holidays get a little stressful because you're constantly moving. It's stop here, eat, pack up, stop there, eat, pack up, and then you end the night with like the big family. And we were home at a decent time, so Easter's one of my favorites because it's just low key. Like
Right.
Christmas is so stressful. You gotta
Oh, it's always.
pack the car up with all the gifts, and then you get gifts at this place. Now you gotta pack your car, and especially with us, I think we have four stops. Which, if you're watching from nowhere around here, you don't know what I'm talking about. But
Right.
we have one stop at Niles, one stop in Champion, two in Warren.
Mhm.
It's like, dude, my gas.
So we have the big house, so everybody just comes to us. That's the nice part.
Yeah, and then keep theme with the podcast. What are you watching? You were telling me about Eminence in the
Oh, I
Shadow.
started that Eminence and Shadow.
Okay.
There are currently only 16 episodes dubbed. The last, I think the last ones are subbed. I'm not sure. I didn't check, but you know me, I'm gonna start with the dub first before I
Yeah.
decide if I like something. Then I'll watch some sub to catch up.
Yeah.
Um, I thought it was great so far. It was very different than what I thought it was. I thought it was just your normal, oh, strong boy beats everybody's ass all the time for no reason. They do a pretty damn good job of it explaining why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of the perfect way to do an overpowered character. He is incredibly overpowered to a ridiculous degree. He's probably the most overpowered character besides One Punch Man that I've ever seen. But he is dead set on not letting people know that he is overpowered, to the point that he has trained himself so that when he's in a fight with somebody in school or whatever, he's perfectly able to make it look like he is super weak.
Yeah.
And they go crazy into it. He's got like 500 different ways, 500 technique, background character techniques is what he calls them.
Okay.
500 background character techniques that he wants to use.
Yeah. We nothing new. I am gonna start this one. It's a Netflix one. I can't remember what it's called now, but I do want to start. Guy, I saw a bunch of like TikToks where he just like points his finger and says bang, and people end up shot. So I don't know. It looks like it's got like a Death Note type
Mm-hmm.
vibe to it. Like the bad guy is the main character, which I like. But besides that, the wife started Demon Slayer, so I've been rewatching Demon Slayer, and every time something happens, and she's like, "That's so sad," and I'm just like, "You You have no
Just wait.
idea.
You're not
I
even close.
I finished the demon. Well, we were there on midnights. You were with me. I finished the Demon Slayer manga in like 2 days,
Hmm.
and I don't want to spoil it, but like the parts that you think are sad are not sad. Trust
No.
me. That was the same thing when she watched. Attempted to watch Tokyo Ghoul. She couldn't get past the scene where he like becomes a ghoul, like the building falls on him, and he
Mhm.
wakes up in the hospital. And she goes, "That sucks." And I was like, "Oh, just wait." So when we got to the torture scene, she was like, "Turn this off." And I'm like, "Absolutely not. This is peak anime.
Right.
This is peak like dark anime. Cutting off fingers and toes, making them count backwards by seven. Like, watch this." And then started season two, and he's a bad guy. She's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Wouldn't you be like if I tortured the shit out of you?" And the torture scene for the anime was like cut. Like, I guess I haven't read the manga. I have it back there, but like I guess in the manga it's a lot longer. Like he's being tortured for like 5 days straight.
Yeah.
But besides that, I want to go back. Or I am going to go back. I started it last night and rewatch Obi-Wan
Hmm.
just because I fucking love Obi-Wan, dude. I love
I'm
Star Wars.
waiting. I'm waiting for. I like with all those kinds of shows, especially The Mandalorian. I like to wait until the show is finished or the season is finished.
Yeah,
Then I'll just binge it in one night or whatever.
that's
So I'm waiting for that. I've become quite good at avoiding all spoilers, so I'm sticking to it.
yeah. I'm pretty good at that, like waiting. But if it's something I'm heavily invested in, I'll watch weekly. Like I think we talked about this. I couldn't wait for My Hero to end before watching it. Like I had to keep up,
Yeah.
which
That's
I
why I started reading the manga when they went on their break because I thought it was so amazing and I said, all right, well I gotta let me get caught up here because this is incredible. I want to keep going.
yeah. Well, that's the same thing that happened to me again. Like Demon Slayer. Like I'm not gonna wait. I think Entertainment Arc had just ended. They hadn't even announced the Sword Village arc yet, and I was like, I'm
Hmm.
not waiting. Like I'm just gonna read. Like, and I started from like zero and then went. So I was like, I'm just gonna read because I'm not gonna wait. And like this is too good to wait. Same thing with
Right.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Like I appreciate the fact that they're giving us a year full of season two, but I hate when animes take too long. Like 6 months is for me. 6 months is just enough time. But you're going like year and a half, year and a couple months. Like, all right, come on.
Hmm.
Like you know you
Right.
got good product. Well, that was the thing, like video game wise too. I'm okay if you delay the game by a month, but like Suicide Squad, which I wasn't excited about, but you delayed that by a year.
Yeah.
Like that means your game was so far from done. Why even talk about it?
Well, really, what it was they put out that trailer and it just did not look good.
No.
Like the actual gameplay in it, and I think they saw like, yeah, people are not going to enjoy this. We
Yeah.
should maybe try to pivot a little bit to something a little different here.
Yeah.
So at the very least, they listened, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, they were coming off a lot of back. Well, DC in general, DC video games were coming off a lot of backlash. A lot of people didn't enjoy Gotham Knights as much as they thought they would.
Yeah.
I I liked the story. It was cool.
Hmm.
The gameplay kind of sucked, but I'm not a big. I don't know. It's just like I loved the Batman games because I love Batman. I'm not like a big Robin or Batgirl guy. Like
Hmm.
I could care less about them to be honest. I like Batman. I like Jason Todd, but like
Right.
I like Batman, dude. Give me Batman. It was a fun game nonetheless. With that being said, what do you think's game of the year so far? And we're only in April.
Honestly, I think it's going to be Hogwarts Legacy
Yeah,
currently, but we have quite a few games coming out soon. In particular, in June, I think it is. We have Diablo 4 comes out,
yeah,
and that's I don't know if you know how big Diablo is, but
yeah,
good lord, that's if it's good, it's probably on lock. And then the other one might be still, like I said in the last show, Starfield. If it's good, if it's as good as it looks, I think it's got a real damn good chance. And there's still quite a few other things coming out, like Star Wars and the Jedi Survivor. So,
yeah. Which I hope is. It looks great so far. I hope it
mhm.
stays that way. I get a little eerie on games that look that good, but the first one didn't let me down. So
Right.
this one, I'm
Well, the
hoping.
first one was also came out of fucking nowhere, dude. Like
Yeah,
no one knew this game was coming. No one had an idea of what it was gonna be, and they make a Souls like Jedi game, and it made perfect sense. It really did. And I had a friend of mine tell me that he didn't think it was what a Jedi would like, what being a Jedi is like. I'm like, you have to remember he's the last fucking Jedi that has not been caught yet, besides obviously Obi-Wan. But he's it. So his idea is the way he can survive is by hiding.
Yeah,
I mean, that's really what everything's stealthy, and then he's got to. But in my opinion, if you ask me, this is what I would see a Jedi being: is exploring ruins and learning about the planet and trying to protect people as best he can without getting caught himself. To me, I thought that was the perfect Jedi.
I liked it, and I like the fact that they didn't have to reach into too much Star Wars lore to make it good. Like
Right.
they didn't have to name drop like Obi-Wan. It was just its own game outside of not outside of the Star Wars lore, but outside of like the main Star Wars
Yeah.
movies. So that was
Yeah.
pretty cool. I hate when sometimes I hate when companies do that. Sometimes it's pretty cool.
Bishop and I were talking the other day. If Star Wars really wants to, because we were talking about the news about the latest Star Wars, excuse me, the new trilogy they're talking about
Yeah.
making. I mean, it sounds like everything that nobody wants, and they're trying to bring Ray back for it, and we're like, dude, we didn't
Yeah.
like Ray the first time. Why are we gonna like her this time?
Yeah, I saw
Um,
she's gonna rebuild the Jedi
the
Order.
Jedi Order, yeah, and we're like, how? Because she never received actual training. You can say she got trained from Leia, but we don't know what training Leia got.
Yeah. Well,
So
in that last
it's
movie, they like
they sort of go into like, oh, she
yeah,
trained with Luke for like, but
but
for all we know is for 3 days
yeah,
because we don't know.
because all you got was a Leia
One
training
scene where they're
montage.
running through the yeah, we get one scene where they're running through the woods together. That's really all we got.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
then
like
she
that.
lights up her lightsaber.
I didn't like that either because like Luke's a big character. Like obviously he's Luke Skywalker, but like
Yeah,
you didn't explain much outside of like the oh he had a bunch of kids and he trained them. Like that's cool, but like what their training consist of? Like how strong were these kids? And then
right.
even the movies, they kind of like, in my opinion, underpowered Kylo. So like, if he's, I feel like he should have been way stronger, but like they never delve into like why.
I think they try to like. I think the real problem really was that Ray just ass pulled force powers. I mean, so that's what everybody was stuck seeing. They do a good job of showing how strong Kylo is. The fact that he can essentially read minds is a big fucking deal in
Uh,
Star Wars because there are very few force wielders who can read minds,
yeah,
and that's one of the first things we're seeing him doing in his interrogation of Ray. So
yeah,
I think they do a fairly decent job of showing how powerful he is, but because of how Ray's like, oh, all of a sudden I can use a lightsaber and I can pull the force. And, okay, fuck off. Come on
yeah.
now.
I just don't like the fact that like during the trailers, you thought you were getting the second coming of Darth Vader, and
Right.
then he's just this whiny little emo punk ass, and like
Yeah.
the first movie in the trilogy, which I believe would be their probably their best one. But like there was so much stuff in the trailers that we didn't get. Like I didn't get that feeling of the first time I saw Darth Vader. You don't get the
Mhm.
Knights of Ren, which I thought they were gonna
Until the
delve.
third, you get the Knights of Ren in the third movie, and it's just a montage.
Yeah,
You don't actually get the Knights of Ren.
because the Knights of Ren they were one of the first inspirations for me to attempt to read the books. I couldn't. I'm not a big reader, but I attempted them.
Well, you should check out the audiobooks. I've done that a few times. Some certain things I want to read but don't have time for, or don't like to read. So
Yeah, we're gonna.
there-
I'll look
pretty
for
much
them.
every Star Wars book has an audio version as well.
Yeah, we'll look for them if we head out to the bookstore today. I'll attempt to see, or we're heading out towards the library, so I'll see if they have them. Pick them up, try again. I'm just like I can't read. It's just too boring.
You can't
Like
read?
I don't have the imagination to like read. I
Yeah.
guess like I can't picture this, and then I'm always like either reading too fast, so then I have to go back and like reread stuff. But
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yeah, I stick with manga. We're gonna finish.
You prefer the pretty pictures. I
Yeah,
know.
pretty pictures and waifus, dude. So we're probably gonna finish, or not finish because it's not done yet. But I'm like 3 chapters behind on Jujutsu Kaisen and 2 chapters behind on Chainsaw Man. So sometime today I'll get those
I still
done.
gotta I still gotta check out Chainsaw Man in its entirety. I watched the first episode on Hulu and I haven't finished it yet. Same thing. I wanted to binge it for when it
Yeah,
came about.
it's good. It's I was telling Bishop, I like it. It's not like top 5 for me, but it's really really good. But it's such a dumb concept.
Oh yeah,
Like
for sure.
everything that you could possibly be afraid of has a demon or a devil
Hmm.
attached to it, and he just happens to be the chainsaw devil. And it's
Right.
like that's so dumb. Like that's a
Well,
stupid concept for an anime.
if you think about it, it's similar to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which they call them stands.
Yeah,
It's very similar.
I've never watched it.
I watched the first iteration of it, and I didn't see what everybody else sees in it.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool. The action scenes are really good. The characters fucking ruin it for me. They're interesting as shit. You like can't look away, but I don't find that good. I just it's like a beautiful disaster. I guess is the best way to
yeah.
put it.
I'm going to attempt to read My Hero, but like I'm so far into the anime that I have to start where the anime's at. I can't start at one
Yeah.
because then it'd be me. Like I'm not. I think we've talked about this before. I'm the worst person when it comes to like redo anything. So like if I watch a
Hmm.
show, I won't go back and rewatch that. Like I'm forcing myself through Obi-Wan and through Tokyo Ghoul. But even like I said, my wife watching Demon Slayer, it's like I, I'm I'm out. Like I'm on TikTok or Twitter or something while she's watching it. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've experienced
Yeah.
it. But
See,
even
I'm the total opposite. I can sit back and go back and watch. Like I go back and watch Yu Yu Hakusho at least once a year because it's one of my absolute favorites. Same thing. Now I haven't probably in 2 years gone back and watched Dragon Ball, but I have. Well, like when Dragon Ball Super finished, I went back and watched from Dragon Ball Episode One all the way through, and even watched GT,
yeah, I see.
just so I could enjoy everything about it.
Nah, you're better than me. I can't do it. Even the few times like I've tried D&D because I don't have anyone to play with, but the few times I have, I can't really play a campaign. So like I have the starter set, the Stranger Things set, the essential kit, all right there with like maps and dice. But like I can't go back and play the starter set campaign because I've already played it.
Right.
And there's like no stories ever the same as they say for D&D, but like I know it happens. I don't want to play it again. I'm gonna work on a Digimon one though. I got time today. I'm gonna sit down for like an hour and start writing a Digimon like
I would
tabletop.
gladly play. I wouldn't mind getting into a second Dungeons and Dragons group at all.
I
Like
I
I said, I do the once every other weekend with my cousins and my
thank you.
brother and my wife. Um,
If I could
I
find
wouldn't
it,
mind getting into another one if we can get it. If we can get more people into it, I'm sure Bishop would do it.
oh Bishop
But
would
we need
play and my wife
we
would
need
play.
more than 3 people. And honestly, we could even do it like this. Um, and I have a friend who is really good with D&D, who's been playing since he was a kid.
Yeah,
And I'm
dude, we could
sure he would be into it.
we could record it, put it up on the channel. People could see us be assholes in the D
Sure.
and D world.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that.
I would gladly. I'll text Bishop as soon as we get off here. I'll text Bishop like, "Hey, we're playing D&D. No choice. Like you have to be there." Because I've
Well,
always
who would be the DM? Uh, that buddy of mine, he's been a DM several times. He's pretty much got the books memorized at this point. He would
yeah.
be
So
good for it, honestly. He's a big um, Critical Role fan. I know he does voices and all of that.
that'd be cool, man. Talk to my
But
buddy.
if I do another D&D campaign, I have to do it a little bit differently because I want to play a D&D. I want to play a D&D campaign where we are in our characters,
Oh
like
yeah,
totally method. When we step into it, we are our characters until we say stop.
Oh yeah, I'd be down
We,
with
we,
that.
we don't we don't do that in my current one. We've talked about doing it here or there. Everybody usually cuts out after a couple of minutes, but I want a whole thing where it's just method, where totally we are our character. That's what I want.
No, yeah, I'd be down for that. I'm a great actor. I do voices.
Dude, I wanted to be a voice actor, so I've
Same.
got quite a few voices saved in my head back here.
Yeah, I still to this day like practice that kind of stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
I drive my wife Nile. What? I drive my
Mild?
wife.
You drive her mild?
Yeah, she doesn't get too upset, but a little upset. I
Okay,
drive
yeah,
her
yeah.
crazy doing stupid voices and characters. I was like, oh god, I cripple around the house and tell her I'm like the fucking just. You're married, you know. I'm the fucking kiss goblin. I just chase her around the
Oh
house.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, you know, like normal couple stuff.
Absolutely, yes, totally. Stuff that most people do, and they don't care whether or not other people see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I got
basically. But yeah, that'd be cool. I've never played like I've played like offset D&D. I've played actually I have it somewhere over there. It's called the Black Book. It's basically D&D but for mechas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I
That
finished
would be cool as fuck.
it's over there somewhere. It's real small too, but I've got that. I've got Monster of the Week. Monster of the Week is exactly how it sounds. It's just if you ever watch Supernatural, it's that,
Okay.
but like tabletop RPG. But yeah, as soon as I finished Blood Orphans, I was like, I need to be that character.
Oh,
So
Iron Blooded Orphan.
yeah, I immediately hopped on Google and was like, dude, just mecha tabletop, and it was the cheapest one. It's real small, real thin. It's somewhere over there. It's got to be with my D&D stuff.
I still can't believe you've only watched Iron Blooded Orphans, and you haven't
I'm
watched Double O, you haven't watched Wing, and you have, in my opinion, the best one is Mobile Fighter G Gun. That's the best one. I think you would really enjoy that one as like a Digimon fan, as a Dragon Ball fan, because it's very. First of all, it's very battle oriented
yeah,
compared to all the other ones. The other ones all have a dramatic story. This one has one, but it's not the important part of the show at all. There's literally it's a tournament of Gundams that's been held for years, and it's destroyed the planet because of it. And so like they have to go and just destroy the planet more.
yeah. I'm
It's
not.
ridiculous.
I I don't want to say I'm not a big mech guy because I'm kind of a big mech guy, but like it seems around the time that like a good mech anime comes out, something else catches my interest. So like when it comes to anime, and I think we've talked about this before, I'm a big like demon guy. I love
Yeah.
the demon versus human, or not even demon, like monster. Like Tokyo Ghoul is my number one favorite anime, but it's like
Right.
the ghouls are demons; they eat humans.
Right.
I like that. So like again with the curses and Jujutsu, Demon Slayer, Inuyasha is a big one. Anything that has to do with like demons and versus humans or monsters versus humans, I'm huge into it. So every time like a good mech comes out or like, a mech catches my eye, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, giant robots. Like Pacific Rim, the anime, the black,
Yeah.
that was good to me. I don't like the duo pilots, but that was good to me. But around that same time, I started watching Be the Beginning, which is also Netflix,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was like, this is so much better. I'm going to binge the shit out of this. But I'm again the mech stuff, anime wise, I'm cool on the mech stuff. I don't like the live action mech stuff, and I didn't like Titanfall. I understand it's a great
Yeah.
game, and a lot of people loved it. It's just not my type of game. I'm not a first person shooter guy at all. Like 0% interest.
Most mech animes in the first place are only used to sell toys. That's really the main point of all of them. And like they go out of their way to make sure that we know, oh yeah, we're doing this to sell toys.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was
here's a cool new fucking mech that you should go buy.
there was a Gundam tabletop strategy game that oh I can't remember what it's called now, but the characters, your Gundams, they were just little figures made out of Legos, and then you could build your own map, and you go to war with the other player. Or the one I watched on YouTube, there was like 8 players all going to war, and it was cool because like I love strategy games anyways. If I could play that with like 8 people, awesome. Like the Marvel strategy game, the tabletop
Yeah,
strategy game. I'm never gonna buy it because I can't afford it, but it looks fun as shit. I'm trying to be Captain America and beat the shit out of my friends.
right.
But Yeah, I'll send that video to you. I'll have to find it again. Cause again, oh, I think it was called like Skirmish or something. But it looked fun. Again, I'll have to start Gundam because now we're talking about now I'm like into mech stuff now. I'm like I want to do this.
Hmm. The best one to pick up and the easiest one to pick up is Gundam 00. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
It's the most what's the word, up to date of the anime. So like it's so the way that Gundam works in general is that the timelines are split. There are, I think, four timelines. Um, so Gundam Wing, Gundam 00, Mobile Fighter G Gundam, and Iron Blooded Orphans, they're all on the same technical timeline,
yeah.
but they all split at one point. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gundam Wing is the would be the first one in the timeline. Um, but let's say if the Gundam pilots didn't make it to Earth in this timeline, well, that's where Gundam 00 comes in.
Oh, okay.
So then, and then if let's say all of them, Gundam Wing, Mobile Fighter G Gundam, Gundam 00, they all happened. Well, 500 years in the future, that's when Iron Blooded Orphans comes in. So that's why they find a hidden
Suit.
Gundam on Mars.
Yeah.
That's because all of those have happened. People know what Gundams are. They're just legendary at this point because it's 500 years in the future.
Yeah.
So, and then Gundam 00, it technically takes place, I think, 200 years from when Gundam Wing would have taken place. And then Mobile Fighter G Gundam is if both Gundam Wing and Gundam 00 happened and it destroyed the planet. So
Okay.
that's the way the Gundam timelines work.
Yeah. That the uh, I'm gonna hurt your feelings with this one. Speaking of
Okay.
timelines, you I don't like time skips in anime. I don't like
Mhm.
time skips. I don't like when a story involves too much about time because then the story gets weird, right? Like,
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that.
can you, and be 100% honest, can you understand 100% the Kingdom Hearts story?
No, no
Yeah.
one can.
No one
It's
can.
not possible.
I,
It's the most convoluted,
yeah.
fucked up storyline in all of gaming, in my opinion. It really is.
Yeah.
Because I think I don't think they knew what they had. I think the whole plan was we're just gonna take Square Enix and we're gonna take Disney and fucking that. I think that was their plan. And then all of a sudden they brought in the guy Tetsuya Nomura,
Yeah.
who is like this crazy writer, and he's like, so
I don't,
let's do this
yeah. I don't
and
think
make it as
he understands it.
weird as possible. And then now the second game comes into play, and he's like, so there's an organization now,
Yeah.
and
So,
they do all this shit. And it's like, oh fuck, where are we going with this?
yeah, dude, I thought I did because you go into that third game and you get to like close to the end and you're just like, okay, I didn't. And I get so
Yeah.
afraid because I think we know this. I'm not sure if it's like 100% yet because we're still waiting for Attack on Titans next season. I'm going to get so mad if there's like multiple errands from
Yeah, I
different
think I will too.
timelines and then I think I'd be furious. I said I think, but I know I'd be furious if the show ends and Aaron's back to being a kid and
Hmm.
he's like everybody remembers everything. They remember the rumbling and then he's back to being a kid, his mom's alive, his dad's alive, and he just tells the world like that will happen if you guys continue to fuck with Island.
Right.
I'd be so mad because like now everyone is just back to normal. It's like
I would
all
be
this
too. Like
shit
I said,
happened.
I at this point, after watching what are we, 4 seasons into this show, over 100 episodes, and we have just watched Aaron eat shit
Yeah.
from day one. I want the rumbling to be real.
Yep.
I just fucking end it. This would be the first anime that I can remember where the bad ending is actually the good ending.
Well,
And it would be incredible to see it because no one has the nuts to just be like, all right, fucking blow it all up.
yeah.
That's what they're doing.
The only anime I can think of, and I'm gonna give spoilers here, so mute yourself. If you haven't seen Devilman Crybaby,
Mhm.
the you go into this with like the good guy fighting the bad guy, and the bad guy wins, and it's not even like a close fight. It's not like the bad guy almost lost. No, he fucking murks the good guy, and then the show ends, and it's like, as an anime fan, you're like, what? Like what? That's it? That's all of it? Nope. I think he's. I don't know how they played it, but the big bad is an evil angel, I think, or like he's Satan or something. The good guy goes to fight the bad guy. The bad guy fucking swipes. Good guy's dead. Show over, and it just ends with like those two laying, like the bad guy's laying next to his corpse. And it's just like you guys thought, and not just that, everyone the good guy loved at this point is dead. Like died a horrible death, head cut off, put on a stick in the streets rioting, like just dead. And the show ends just on that. It's like that was such a good bad ending, and I want that for
Hmm.
Attack on Titan so bad.
Yeah, me too.
I want it to
Exactly.
just be the most evil ending, but one of those endings where you have to like just applaud and be like, that was beautiful.
Right. And that's the best way to end it because we have just watched Aaron eat shit since day one. So let him have his rumbling at this point. It would be the good ending. It really
Yeah,
would be the good ending.
it's
Because all the bigots and bad guys, they would all be dead. And
yeah,
all that would be left is parody. That's
yep,
it.
and that's what he's. It,
That's what he's trying to do.
yeah, it's what he wants though. So the big conspiracy theory now is those people in the background and a couple of those images are
Mhm.
Aaron.
I kind of hope that's not the
I
case.
I
It would be
hope
interesting if that's the way the guy was thinking, how far ahead he was thinking, but
I think they
I
did it on
kind of don't.
purpose. I don't think that's
Yeah,
Aaron. I think they did that on purpose though to make people think.
could be. That could be it.
Yeah, I personally, and again, I would hate this ending. I personally think he's gonna get talked down, and
I know
they're
it's
gonna
going to be a
strike up
talk
this.
no jutsu situation, which
Yeah,
I don't fucking
they're
love at
gonna
all.
strike up this worldwide peace treaty. The show's gonna end with Aaron's last day alive, and
Hmm.
he'll die as like himself, his human form, and it's just like, bleh. That's
Right.
boring. You just led all of us watching the show. You led us on this wild ride, and then a boring ending. We talk about it all the time.
Yep.
Promise Neverland, beautiful, beautiful shit. Makes you hate that. Like if it ends terribly, I'll hate the whole show
Yeah, for sure. I
because
think I'll agree with you because that's how I got with Promise Neverland. It was that ending was. I mean, they fucking ended it with a montage, dude. Like there's so much more story to tell, and they're like, oh well, here's a montage of what you could have seen.
yeah,
You don't get to actually see it. There you go.
we watched
Oh,
that while we were on Midnight's where we came up with the idea for the podcast.
right.
Um, and I remember like telling you like that's not my type of show. Like, well, I don't do it. I
And I
finished the
said, nah, yeah, I
first
said,
season.
nah, dude. Yes, this is your type of show.
Yeah,
Go and watch it.
finished it in one day. Came back to work the next night.
Mhm.
Told you I finished it. Was starting season two, and I finished season two that night. And as soon as you were like, "Yeah, season two was shit," they cut out a bunch of stuff. I went back and I was, the manga is so long.
I know
You cut out this
everything,
much, like,
everything,
yeah,
all the good shit. They cut it out.
and like, it was good. It was good. Season two is all right until she finds they find the one that they thought stayed behind. I can't remember his name now. It's been a while. The one they thought was
Oh,
dead, but he was actually,
yeah, yeah,
but he's
yeah,
coming up with a
yeah.
serum to kill all the demons.
I
And then
know.
they were just like, okay, we gotta hurry up. Like, just let's go. And it's like,
Right.
hold on, what? And it again, it was such a good season one, but because of season two, I hate season one.
I agree with you.
So
100%. I agree with you.
I hope they don't
You
do that.
haven't seen Made in the Abyss yet, have you?
No.
It's kind of similar. It's not. It's not exactly the same, but it is very. It's a similar idea. Except instead of them being like locked in a house that they're meant to be food in, um, there's a there's like a hole in the ground, and only certain people can explore what's down in this hole,
Okay.
and that's the premise of it. I think it's a great show. It's visually stunning. Like if you like Howl's Moving Castle and what was the other one we were talking about? The last one that Bishop liked.
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away.
anything
If you
Studio
like,
Ghibli.
yeah, if you like those, you will absolutely adore the animation in Made in the Abyss. It's great.
I'll give it a shot. I'm gonna watch that Gundam Zero, like you said. Uh, we got a pretty busy Sunday, but I can probably fit those in. We got a pretty busy week coming up. But the now dang. Oh, the season one versus season twos, or like cutting out manga. Do you think there's any good reason to cut out certain things in manga when
No,
transitioning to the anime?
none.
Yeah, I
Don't
say
think
this all
there's
the time.
any.
I say it all the time because I agree with you. Every time we talk about this, making an anime has to be so easy. Here's a bunch of books, animate it, but then
Right.
they get the source material. They're like, oh, thank you for these books. We're gonna animate it, and then they're like reading through it, and like, we don't need that. We don't need this.
Yep.
Keep the fight scene. Keep the 2 episode long fight scene. Skip the story.
Hmm.
Like, I hate even Tokyo Ghoul did it, but like, I hate having questions because
Yeah, I agree with you.
you should explain everything so that I understand it. Like,
I think their thinking is if we animate everything, why would they buy the books? I think that's what it is, and it comes down to money. They want to make more of it. So, well, if you want to see everything that actually happened, go buy the books.
yeah, it annoys me because even going like, we'll take Demon Slayer because I just finished it not too long ago. Everything in the manga is awesome. It's beautiful. It's storytelling wise, it's great.
Yeah.
I'll be mad, even in this new arc that everyone's super excited about. I read through it. It's pretty mid. Don't cut anything out because you need the storytelling. Like, there's a certain point where you find you find out about like a pair of siblings, and if
Mhm.
the anime cuts out any scene from the manga, you'll be lost.
Right. Well,
So
that's
like,
how that's how it was for My Hero as well with the Dark Deku arc.
mm-hmm,
That could not be taken out.
mm-mm.
There is nothing could be taken out of that. So people were complaining, "Oh, Deku wouldn't be like that." First of all, yeah, he would at that point because he needed to do this. He needed to be the guy that they were looking for.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Deku would do. I don't know what anybody's talking about. Oh, that's not how Deku would.
Well,
Yes it is.
I
100% it is.
I say that all the time, and we talk about it all the time. You don't know. You don't know what that
Right.
character's like because you're not the
Right.
character. And I understand like you sympathize with the character, or you believe you and the character have awesome similarities, which I'm cool with. I think the same way. I tell everybody,
Hmm.
Goblinmon's my favorite Digimon because my name's Matt and my best friend's name is Ty, and
Right.
I love but you're not the character. So I hate the argument like it just seems out of character for him. You know the character more than the guy that created him. Like, come on,
Right.
shut up. Nothing against like being disappointed. Like, if you're disappointed in that character's decisions, okay. But like, people had the same bitch about Dragon Ball Z when Majin Vegeta, he wouldn't just do that for the power. He
Yes, he
absolutely
would.
would. He absolutely
Yeah,
would.
absolutely. His whole reason for becoming a Super Saiyan is pure jealousy that Goku was a Super Saiyan. Like Team Four Star did it best. Like, hi, how did I thought you needed to be pure heart to become Super Saiyan. And then he says, "There's more than one way to reach the goal." Then they just show him going, "I want to be a Super Saiyan. I
Yeah,
want to be." That's exactly how it happened. I mean,
yeah.
that's you know that's how it happened.
That's
So
that
when
scene is
when
my favorite TikTok. Men only want
yes,
one thing, and it's disgusting. I want to be a
exactly,
Super Saiyan.
exactly.
Everyone wants to be a Super Saiyan,
Hmm.
and I feel like
Without a doubt.
kind of off script, but Dragon Ball Z, shout out to them because they're the reason a lot of people got into anime.
Oh, for
That
sure.
it's so much cool. We talked about this already, but it's anime is so much cooler now than it was like when we were kids,
Oh,
and it's
people
Dragon Ball Z.
like I told like the reason I'm known as the nerdy jock was because I hid that I was a nerd. I was an athlete. I played sports and I played basketball, football, baseball, golf. I bowled. I mean, any sport I could find, I played, and I was always fairly good enough to get a scholarship in college. But in the back of my mind, all I wanted to do was sit at home and watch anime.
Yeah.
That's truthfully what it was. But I couldn't tell people that because if I did, I was going to be called a nerd.
Yeah, I was never like closeted. Like I've always, everyone has always known I was a nerd, but like I was big in like imagination when I was a kid. So like all my toys were Super Saiyans or
Yeah.
everything like that. But I'm definitely like a lot more about it now that I'm closer to 30
Hmm.
than I was when I was like 15,
Yeah,
16.
I agree with you. It seems like the older I get, I mean, for starters, I really don't give a shit what people think about me anymore. That's the nice thing. But it's like I seem to delve more into things now because
It's because you
probably
have,
because I don't give a shit and I have money. That's the
yeah,
nice
let's say,
part.
and you have
Yeah,
money because
right.
back when I
Not a
was,
lot of money. I'm not rich.
no, but
I make
when
I drive a snowplow for a living, so
when I was a kid with no money, you had to wait till like your birthday or Christmas to get the cool
right.
action figure. Now I walk into the store and I see a cool action figure and I'm like, I want that, and I just put it on the cashier's desk and I'm just
Yeah,
like, I'll take this.
right.
Or even like, I mean, the background you can see all the Funko Pops. Like, just walk into any store and I see a Spider-Man Funko Pop and I'm like, I'll take that.
For me, the nice thing is I have a very wonderful wife who absolutely loves to just feed into my nerdness. Like,
Yeah,
well, let me show you my Valentine's Day gift. Hold on, let me spin around here because it is the coolest fucking thing ever. Well, like it's gonna come down with it, but this is a bouquet of Dragon Ball Z action figures.
yeah, that's awesome.
It's a literal flower bouquet. It is the coolest fucking thing ever. And that's what my wife got me for Valentine's Day. And you know what I got her? Fucking chocolates. And I felt like a piece of shit when I
Yeah,
saw this.
yeah. I got spoiled. The birthday was just recent and I got spoiled. I got like 3 or 4 boxes of Digimon sleeves, anything for the TCG. And then back when we were not we, she was never like big into it. She still isn't big into it, but like back when I was wanting to play D&D bad, like I'd be like, "Hey, we have to go to the comic store so I can get minifigs." And instead of being smart and be like, "Hey, Matt, no, because you're never gonna play this game," she would be like, "Okay, I'll drive."
Yeah. See, like, I want to get a 3D printer just to make minifigs. It's the only reason I want it.
We're not too big into it now. Like if I see like cool ones, like I'll grab them. Like last time we were at the comic book shop, I saw like a Legolas looking
Hmm.
minifig. Yeah, I'll grab
Hmm.
that for $8, like whatever.
Right.
But like I kind of gave up on it. But I mean, now that we're talking about playing again, uh, I'll still probably buy some just in case like IRL stuff happens. But usually like my nerdness, it's like I'm a little kid, but I'm 30. So like I see
Hmm.
the big shiny thing, and I'm like begging my wife now, like, can we afford that? Can we buy that? And she's
Right.
always like, yeah, if you want. And it's like, no, tell
Hmm.
me no, please.
Seriously, tell me fucking no. Like,
Yeah,
don't buy me Trunks' future Trunks' sword because I want it.
yeah. Well, again, uh, she was super excited, like closer to my birthday. It was like 2 or 3 days before, and she's like, "Can I just give you one of your presents? Can I give you one?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Right.
a fucking lightsaber, dude.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Like, who does that?"
You know what I would love to do with you and Bishop? We should try. You guys should try to go to Indie Comic Con with Brittany and I this year. All three of us just take a weekend and go down to Indy. It's a 4.5 hour drive, um, but it's honestly it's so much fun. And you guys have never been to Indy Comic Con, right?
When is that?
It's usually in oh shit, it's usually pretty soon. Now that I think about it, they've been doing two a year now recently, but I think this year's big, dude. They got um, most of the cast from The Flash is going to be there this year because they're ending.
Yeah,
They have a bunch of the voice actors for Dragon Ball Z are going to be there. Um, there's a whole bunch.
I didn't watch the creator clash last night, um, but Matt Mercer's wife fought.
Mhm.
I
Oh, did she?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you if she won or not. I don't know, but
Hold on, let's look it up.
the only
She
reason
was fight. She was fighting somebody who actually fights, wasn't she?
I have no idea. I stopped paying attention to it too much. The others I was gonna watch it is because Alana Pierce, who ended up winning. I know that,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it was last night. I forgot all about it because of the Digimon tournament and the UFC was on. But now
She fought Haley Sharp. Uh,
they don't have like the results. I can't find the results.
yeah, I don't see it either.
There wasn't too many big
Results.
names, but I know that she Matt Mercer was there, so that's what reminded me. I saw on someone took a picture of him, took a picture with him on Twitter,
Hmm.
and I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, last night was the Critter Clash fights. Shout out to them, dude. It's for charity. I'll
Yeah.
get punched in the face for charity. Let me
All
know.
right. No shit.
Let me know when the next one is.
Haley Sharp pummels Marisha Ray for unanimous decision win. Jesus.
I'm gonna have to go back and like, I'll have to see if I can find it anywhere to watch it.
I see one clip. I
Is
don't
it
want to
bad?
click on it because I don't know. I don't want to click on it because it's probably gonna. I don't know if there's sound on it.
Oh no.
Oh, dude, yeah, she's getting rocked in this clip. Oh,
Oh man. Uh,
16-second clip, and she got rocked. Jeez.
oh boy. Let me see here. I'll have to watch it later. I'll have to check
Yeah.
results and get on the old YouTubes and see. But yeah, I just remembered that was on last night. Again, I was only watching it because of Alana Pierce, who ended up winning. But
Hmm.
it is pretty cool. They it's different than like the other YouTube boxing events where it's just all drama and trash talk. And this one, everybody was
Yeah.
friends. And the guy from Epic Mealtime, Harley, he ended up getting knocked out of the ring, but he fought a former WWE wrestler.
Oh, well, no shit. That's why.
Yeah, like yeah, this dude, John Morrison actually. That's one thing too. Speaking of wrestlers, you probably don't follow Ethan Page, but
I know who he is.
he's a huge nerd, and
Mhm.
he has got a separate YouTube channel where he just goes toy hunting and buys like
There, my best friend Keith was telling me about there's some MMA guy who's apparently a huge nerd. Like he does anime poses.
yeah, it's
I
Izzy,
don't know who.
Izzy Adesanya.
Idiota Sonya. That might be the next guy I start following. Because, like I said, I quit following MMA. I was a big GSP fan,
Yeah,
big GSP fan. So when he retired, I was done. I wasn't interested in it.
yeah, he just fought, and the when we do our MMA podcast on Tuesdays, or Saturday and Tuesday last week, we were talking about the big fight. We were talking about Israel Adesanya. He's a big old nerd, man. Loves anime.
Okay, well, I
Like,
might have to start following him then.
yeah, he's cool because
Like, there's the running back for Detroit. I think he got traded. Did he get traded? Anyway, he's a massive nerd, and I'm a Browns fan, but I love this fucking dude
yeah,
because he'll go on every interview and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. Anything you guys want to talk about, I'm gonna talk about Pokemon. I'm like,
yeah,
I love you.
yeah. The coolest thing was Izzy had fought hard 5 round fight, but at one point in between rounds, you see him like pretending to write, and
Was he ready to Death Note?
yeah,
Oh,
in the post, and he ended up winning the fight. But in the post
nice.
fight, they're like, "What were you doing?" He's like signing his name in the death note.
Oh
He goes,
my
"Because I knew I
god,
was
that's
gonna kill him,"
amazing.
and I was like, "That is awesome."
Oh,
But
that's so good.
he went to fight. He was fighting Anderson Silva. It was best middleweight versus best
Oh,
middleweight.
Anderson, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Anderson did his classic like hands down pose,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Izzy put his hands behind his back, and when you look at the two poses, it's Guy versus Gara. Yeah, he did it on
Oh,
purpose to make it look like Guy versus Gara.
well, it wouldn't be Guy. It would have been Lee. Lee
Well,
versus Gar. Yeah.
Lee versus Gara, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's the
Oh,
exact
that's
same.
good.
And he saw Anderson do this in like all of his face offs, so he
Yeah.
made sure to do this pose, and then he shared the post. Yeah,
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start following that guy for sure.
yeah, he's huge nerd, man. I love Izzy Adesanya. That's the guy me
But
and Bishop coined the phrase "got that dog in him," talking about
oh,
Izzy. Yeah, but huge no. Like again, all starts with like it wasn't cool, and now it's massive, and now even
right.
like athletes who you think like no
Like
way,
the defensive end for the Browns, Miles Garrett. His
yeah,
his dog's name is Gohan.
yeah.
I mean, I love it. I
Tell you,
absolutely love it.
it all starts with Dragon Ball Z, man. People watch Dragon
Yep.
Ball Z and they're just hooked, and then you just lead into other stuff.
Yep.
But
Love
that's
it.
the cool part now is with how big it is, you get more. I don't know what to say. Like well-known shows are skyrocketing, but the lesser known shows are coming to light, and you get to watch
Hmm.
those. So like I said, especially like for me, I watch a bunch of like TikTok, so I'm always seeing clips of anime. And it's like, what's this called? Because
Oh
even when you
yeah.
told me about Eminence in the Shadow of the Shadow, I'd
That's how
already
I found
seen
those on
that on
TikTok.
TikTok, and
Yeah.
I was like, I have to
Yeah.
watch this. This looks amazing. Or that one I was talking about earlier, the Netflix original, which I can't remember the name. I know I liked it, so I have it saved.
I want to debate a little bit with you on something you said on the last on our first episode that you said Avatar: The Last Airbender is not an anime, and I want to know why you say that.
It's a cartoon
Why?
because it's a cartoon.
But why?
Well, I because they cartoon.
Animes are cartoons, buddy.
No, no.
Yes, they are. They
Animes
are.
are
If they want to
cartoons for
say,
adults and
I
growner
fully
kids.
understand. I fully understand.
I
But at
feel
the
it's
same time, it's not, and it still makes it's still an anime. And every anime, yes, I know it's different, but it is technically a cartoon. Remember Dragon Ball Z? When I was a kid on Toonami, it was marketed as the greatest action cartoon of all time. I know it's taboo to call anime a cartoon nowadays, but based on your logic, it is that still makes it an anime.
I think I said that more for like to piss people off.
Uh huh.
Uh, I do think it's cartoon though because it's out of its way kiddish. It's got Avatar was good. Like
So is everything.
I watched
Dragon
all
Ball
of
Z
it.
is ridiculously kiddish. Naruto is ridiculously kiddish.
Naruto, yeah. Dragon Ball Z's got
For
some like
sure.
adult undertones, but
The original Dragon Ball was geared towards children.
yeah.
Now,
So Dragon
because
Ball's a
Toriyama's
cartoon.
yeah, well yeah, they all are.
I just
But
feel
no,
like
like I was worried you were gonna say because it's American made, but that doesn't
no
it okay because
because
I was gonna make the argument like because I think you said you watched Tower of God
no
or was it God
I
was it God of High School you watched?
God of High School and the Tower of God both. I didn't watch those. I read them when they came out because they
Well,
were the
they're Korean made anime. So if you wanted
yeah
to say, oh, they have to be Japanese, well, no, they don't because
absolutely not because I'm super excited
right,
about Solo Leveling.
that's Korean made as
Yeah,
well. Yeah.
but I just Avatar was good and I liked it. Like it was cool. I liked watching Aang beat the shit out of the fucking guy at the end, and like you see his full power. The
Oh,
other
it's
one,
amazing.
I know we were talking about. I didn't watch the other one, Korra, but it
I
was
love
just
Korra. I
super.
love Korra. Like I think people,
I just didn't
I
watch
under
it, so I don't have an
yeah.
opinion on it.
Well, there's a lot of people who have very strong opinions that it's not good, and a lot of the reason is because Korra was not meant to be a long running anime. They only meant to do the first season, but it did really well.
Yeah,
So like the way the first season ends, that's how the show should have ended. And then they're like, well, we're making money off of this, so let's make a second season. So they made a second season, and then that ended and had an ending. And they're
hmm
like, well, that did really well. Let's do a third season. So they had to like start over every season.
yeah. The the cartoon comment was more so just because I know that's like an online debate. I was like, I'm just gonna throw my name in there, but
Right.
it is super kiddish. But that's, I mean, it was Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
It had to be like
Well, like I remember when they put Naruto on what was that Disney DX? Is that what it's called?
XD, Disney XD,
XD.
because Digimon was on
They
there for a
had
little bit.
they had to take it off because they didn't realize, oh, there's a lot of like death and shit in this show.
hmm
We can't put this on Disney.
That that you bring that up, and I just remembered the shittiest season of Digimon was on Disney XD, and at the time, you had to have satellite to get Disney XD, I think, or
Mm-hmm.
Time Warner Cable, one of the two. But you had to have one. You couldn't have both.
Hmm.
So I had to I'd go to a friend's house and attempt to watch it, but like it was Disney, so it was like shitty. And then the next show was like Zach and Cody. And it's like, how do we go from
Right.
this to that to the point where like we got rid of satellite? I was like,
Well,
yeah,
like Disney they had control of Power Rangers for a while, which that was the worst run of Power Rangers,
yeah. And
honestly.
now I think Netflix bought them. I think
Yep.
Netflix owns Power Rangers now.
They got a new movie with four. Well, they're not none of the only originals are Billy and Zach. They're
Yeah,
the two originals that are coming back. Then we have the second Red Ranger because the original Red Ranger, Jason, he's yeah, he got in some trouble with taxes
mm,
or something. And then apparently they offered Amy Jo Johnson to come back as Kimberly, and she's the reason she left the original show was due to them not they were paying her like $100 for a whole season. It was like nothing. They were like, oh yeah, you get exposure. That was like what they were doing to her. So when she said, well, I'll come back, but I'm kind of famous now. I'm a big director. I have
yeah,
another show that I'm on, so I want my quote. And they said, well, no, we're not. We're going to give you shit again. And
yeah.
she's like, then I'm not coming back. Which I don't blame her at all for it.
No,
At all, as much as I love her as Kimberly, I don't have a problem with them bringing the second one. It was they made her cousin. I think it was her
yeah.
cousin who became the second Pink Ranger.
Well, I thought
And then
for the new one
they
it was
had
the Pink Ranger from Galaxy. I thought.
it might have been what it was. Well, I know that they have like apparently from what I saw some screenshots from the show or from the movie. Um, they have they're gonna do like cameos from
Yeah,
like every season.
which they dropped the ball because I thought the movie was awesome. The most recent.
I
Uh,
didn't. I thought it was good. Like so, I thought it similar to Death Note. Like how I saw it said Death Note. If you don't know Power Rangers, that movie was good.
yeah,
If you do know Power Rangers, you weren't gonna like it.
yeah.
That's how I saw it.
I liked it. I went to theaters to see it.
So did I.
I was never a big Power Rangers
I
kid.
I remember when Brittany and I went, we it was like the second weekend. There was no one there. It
Oh, it
was
was empty.
literally her and I in the theater.
Yeah, it was empty when we went. But I feel like I only liked. I was never big into Power Rangers. Like it was on
I love Power Rangers. Power Rangers was the thing when I'm what 4 years older than you. No, you're 27, right?
29.
You're 29. I thought you were
Nah,
27.
I just turned 29 last month.
Oh, that's right. You were 28. That's
Yeah,
right. Okay. Oh yeah. So I'm 4 years older than you. When I was a kid, we didn't have anime. We had Power Rangers, and then we got anime. Which, when Power Rangers, I remember Power Rangers kind of died in Turbo, which was the third iteration.
uh,
It just died. Um, and so, but then Dragon Ball Z came, and it was like, oh, this is amazing.
yeah. Now I've always had cartoons. I've always,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, Power Rangers was on. It was part of the Saturday morning lineup, but it was like I could care less. That's
Like I'm such a big Power Rangers fan. When Tommy came back in Dino Thunder, I was like, okay, I gotta watch Power Rangers
yeah,
again. And I think I was a junior in high school when that happened.
yeah. It's always those things too. Like they bring back a character, and you're like, now I have to get back into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess I gotta watch this now.
yeah. There goes my Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
If cartoons were still like good, I'd definitely watch Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, you know,
Bowl of cereal.
did you see they're bringing Tiny Toons back?
I did not.
I'm so excited.
Dude, Tiny
I'm
Toons.
so excited for Tiny Toons to come back.
My I don't know if he's not obsessed with it anymore, but he was super obsessed with Baby Looney Tunes.
Yeah, well, that's what that is. That's Tiny Toons.
But they're bringing the OG back.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, good. Because I was saying
yeah.
the new one sucks. Like, I had to babysit him a couple times, and like that's all he watched. And it's like this sucks. Like, what are you
They're
doing,
doing
kid?
a total remake of it from what I saw on it. I can't wait, dude. I just found out about this yesterday at D&D. Actually, we were talking about stuff we were looking forward to, and that was it.
You guys are just stuck up in Dracula's castle talking about Tiny
Well,
Toons.
we had the two of the girls who always play in our game that are usually late. We were waiting for
Oh,
them. That's what it was.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We definitely got to start something like that, dude. I'd love to
would
play some
love
D and
to.
D.
That'd be so
Said
fun.
I got some time today before we get
Like
out
I
and
said,
start running.
my my buddy Andrew, who will probably watch this episode, he's been a dungeon master many times. He loves doing it. He would be great. In all honesty, you just give him what you want to do, and he'll write a story about it.
Yeah, as soon as we get off here, I'm gonna text Bishop and be like, hey, there's no. You have to do it.
It would be amazing.
Yeah,
Love it.
like I said,
Okay, so to end this episode, I told you I wanted to do a segment, Josh's homework.
yeah,
Bishop's not here. I'll give it to him on Monday when we work. But so I have one show I want you to watch. You said you haven't watched Rising of the Shield Hero, right?
nope,
I want you to watch the first episode of that. And
got it.
if you drop it, fine. We'll discuss it in the next at the beginning of the next episode, and I'll tell Bishop the same thing. I'll even put it on a flash drive for you.
Oh, I've got Shield Hero. Let me just make a note. I think, I could be lying to you. I think I did watch. No, I did not watch the first episode of that.
I think I was gonna start watching it on midnights with you guys, but then something. I think we decided to watch something else.
I think that's when we started watching Charlotte.
That might have been what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I gotta rewatch that
Charlotte.
too.
Charlotte's so good. I love
Yeah, I gotta rewatch it because while you had that on, we were both playing Digimon,
Yeah.
World Order.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't paying attention. I was just trying to not get my Digimon to die.
Right. No, that's the toughest thing about that game. In
Yeah.
all honesty. Yeah.
I
And
got
then
it.
come to find out, there's actually a literal time limit on their lifespan anyway.
Yeah.
So whatever we do doesn't fucking matter.
It just hurts because like at one point I had
Like
like
I
my
had,
favorite Digimon.
yeah, I had Mirage Galgamon. I was so pumped for that, and then he just dies like 2 days later. I'm like, are you serious?
I got a Mirage Galgamon deck somewhere.
Yeah. I saw that on your TikTok actually.
Yeah, do you follow me on TikTok? Everybody follow me on TikTok for
You follow
Digimon.
me on TikTok.
I follow you. I followed you today. And Bishop.
Follow us on TikTok.
We are on TikTok now.
At Snow Days. Yeah.
And then when we oh, you know what? Next video, I'll have our Twitches over our names. Everybody can follow.
Okay.
Which I do a lot of Digimon on Twitch, and then you haven't been on in a while.
I haven't. No.
Yeah.
I kind of just wanted to do because I wasn't really getting a lot of viewers. That's really what it was.
Well, hopefully this helps.
Hopefully this will help. That'd be nice.
So Shield Hero, I will watch that. I don't have any homework because every anime I bring up, you've probably already seen.
Yeah.
So
But that's been my thing is I like I said for 10 years I was in midnights. So I had nothing to do, and so that's what I did. I got into anime.
all right, so I will watch Shield Hero. We are gonna go offline. So adios.
Thanks for watching.